Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be diving into agentic AI.
Ooh.
AI that can take action, not just, answer your questions.
Right.
Like, imagine if you had an AI that was managing your emails or booking meetings or even, negotiating deals for you.
That's right.
That's the kind of stuff that we're going to be looking at today.
It's a whole new level of AI, isn't it?
It really is. And we've got two sources that are going to help us explore this.
Okay.
We've got a YouTube tutorial that shows you how to build an email AI agent. We've got a Forbes article that discusses the broader impact of this whole agentic AI thing.
Cool. So are we going to start with the nitty-gritty, the tutorial?
Yeah, I think that's a good place to start because it gives you a really practical hands-on sense of what's possible.
Okay.
So the tutorial, it starts off by breaking down the different components of an AI agent.
Right.
And it uses this really clear diagram.
Okay, so what's in this diagram?
Well, it shows you the brain of the AI agent, which is a large language model like ChatGPT. And then it's got this thing called the memory, which is where the AI stores context and past interactions.
So it remembers what you've been talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's got instructions, which define what the AI agent is supposed to do and what tools it can use.
Uh-huh.
And then it's got input, which is the request that the user gives to the AI.
Like what you want the AI to do.
Yeah. And then output, which are the actions that the AI agent takes based on that input.
So it's like a little recipe for creating a digital brain.
Yeah. It kind of is.
So how does the tutorial actually teach you to build this thing?
Well, it uses this platform called NARN.
Okay, I've heard of that one.
Yeah. And basically you connect all these different nodes together to create a workflow.
So you don't need to actually write any code?
Nope. No coding required. It's all visual, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome. And then what can this email agent actually do?
Well, the name suggests it can send emails.
Right.
But it can do it in a really smart way. So it can search your contact database to automatically find email addresses.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah. And it can extract information from your requests. So say you tell it to send an email to John about tomorrow's meeting. Mm-hmm. It can figure out who John is. It can figure out what the meeting is about. And it can even figure out when tomorrow is.
So it's understanding the context of what you're asking?
Exactly. It's not just like a dumb robot following commands.
That's really impressive.
Yeah. And the tutorial, it emphasizes how important it is to write these really good system prompts.
System prompts.
Yeah, it's detailed instructions that you give to the AI agent to kind of define its role and guide its actions.
So the ground rules for the AI?
Yeah, exactly. And the cool thing is the tutorial actually uses ChatGPT itself to help you write the system prompt.
Oh, wow. So it's like AI helping to build AI.
I know, right? It's pretty wild.
So that's the hands-on part, the nitty-gritty. But what about the bigger picture?
Yeah, let's zoom out a little bit and see what the Forbes article has to say about the broader impact of all this.
Okay, so what's Forbes' take on agentic AI?
Well, they call it the third wave of AI.
Third wave.
Yeah, so first we had predictive AI, then we had generative AI.
Right.
And now we're entering this era of agentic AI where AI systems can independently take action and make decisions.
Within certain limits, I assume.
Of course, within the parameters that we set for them, but still, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's like AI is finally breaking free of just creating content or making predictions.
Exactly. It's actually doing things in the real world based on our instructions.
That's got to have huge implications for, the workplace.
Totally. The Forbes article talks about how AI agents could be used in all sorts of industries.
Like what kind of things?
Well, they give examples like customer service agents that can handle complex support tickets, or personal AI agents that can negotiate deals on your behalf, or even AI agents that can collaborate with each other in meetings.
Wow, so that's a lot of jobs that AI could potentially take over.
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't will AI agents replace human jobs?
Right, because that's everyone's fear.
Totally. But the Forbes article, it paints a slightly more nuanced picture.
Okay, so what'd I say?
Well, they argue that while some jobs will definitely be automated, agentic AI will also create a whole bunch of new job categories.
Oh, interesting. So what kind of new jobs?
Well, think about it. Someone needs to design these AI agents. Someone needs to train them. Someone needs to manage them.
That's true.
And someone needs to make sure that they're working ethically and effectively.
Right. So it's not just about replacing humans. It's about changing the types of jobs that we do.
Exactly. And the Forbes article, they say that the key to thriving in this new world is going to be learning how to work alongside AI agents.
So it's all about collaboration.
Yeah. It's about understanding what AI can do, what it can't do, and how to best leverage its strengths to enhance our own capabilities.
That makes a lot of sense, but I mean, this all sounds very futuristic.
Yeah, it does. But the Forbes article, they argue that this third wave is already here.
Really?
Yeah, we're already seeing early examples of agentic AI in action.
Like what?
Well, I mean, look at this YouTube tutorial that we were just talking about.
Right.
That's a perfect example of how this technology is becoming more and more accessible.
So this isn't just something we can ignore.
No, it's something we need to understand and engage with right now if we want to be prepared for the future.
Okay, so we need to pay attention.
Yeah, because the choices that we make today about how we develop and deploy this technology are going to have a huge impact on the shape of our future.
Like what kind of impact?
Well, I mean, think about the workforce, the economy, even society as a whole.
Yeah, that's a lot to think about.
It is. It's a pretty weighty topic, but I think it's an important one.
Yeah, definitely. And it seems like we're right at this crucial point where we have the opportunity to really shape how this technology develops.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes this whole agentic AI thing so fascinating.
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued.
Me too. And speaking of fascinating, let's dive back into that YouTube tutorial and actually break down some of the specific steps involved in building an email agent.
Okay, let's do it.
And then after that, we can circle back to the Forbes article and talk more about those ethical considerations that you mentioned.
Sounds good. I'm ready when you are.
Awesome. Let's go.
All right. So we were looking at how to actually build one of these agentic AI things.
Yeah, that YouTube tutorial was pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it was really interesting to see how it all comes together.
Like how they break down the different components.
Right, starting with the basics, the brain, the memory, the tools.
And then they show you how to connect it all using that N8N platform.
Which is pretty user-friendly by the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, even I could probably figure it out.
And you're not exactly a tech whiz.
Hey. I resemble that remark.
Just kidding. But it is cool that you don't need to be a programmer to build these things.
Exactly. That's what's so exciting about this whole no-code movement.
It's democratizing AI, putting it in the hands of everyday people.
Yeah, and speaking of putting things in the hands of AI, one of the things that really stood out to me in that tutorial was the whole keys concept.
The keys? Yeah, what was that all about?
Well, basically how you teach the AI agent to extract information from, like, user requests.
Okay, so like if I tell the agent to send an email to John about tomorrow's meeting.
Exactly. The agent needs to be able to figure out who John is, what the meeting is about, and when tomorrow is.
Right. It needs to understand the context.
Yeah. And those keys, they're like little tags that you can use to highlight those important pieces of information.
So it's like teaching the AI to speak our language.
Yeah, and to understand what we really mean, even if we're not being super specific.
That's really clever.
And then once the agent understands the request, that's where the system prompt comes in.
Oh, yes. The system prompt, the rule book for the AI.
Exactly. It defines the agent's role, its limitations, how it should behave, all that good stuff.
And the tutorial actually suggests using ChatGPT to help write the system prompt.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
It's like AI inception AI building AI.
I know, right? It's pretty meta.
But it makes sense because ChatGPT is so good at generating clear and concise instructions.
Yeah, it's like having an AI assistant help you train another AI assistant.
It's getting kind of trippy now.
I know, right? But seriously, that system prompt, it's crucial.
Yeah, if it's not well written or clear enough, the agent could easily misinterpret things.
Or go off on some crazy tangent.
Exactly. It's like the guardrail that keeps the AI on track.
Make sure it's aligned with our intentions and values.
So we've got the agent set up. We've got the system prompt in place. What happens next?
Well, the tutorial shows you how to run a test.
Okay.
You give the agent a simple command like, send an email to John about the meeting.
And then what?
And then you can actually watch as the agent processes the request, extracts the information, and then uses its Gmail tool to send the email.
So you can see it all happening in real time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but I imagine things can get a lot more complex than just sending a simple email.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, email is just one example.
Right, the tutorial mentions that you can connect different tools and data sources to create much more sophisticated workflows.
So you could connect your email agent to a calendar app.
Exactly, and then it could schedule meetings based on your availability.
Or you could connect it to a database of customer information.
Yeah, and then it could personalize emails and offers.
So it's not just about automating individual tasks, it's about connecting those tasks together.
To create like a seamless intelligence system.
And that's where things get really interesting, because as these agents become more capable and interconnected...
What happens then?
Well, the Forbes article talks about this concept of AI ecosystems.
AI ecosystems. That sounds pretty intense.
It is basically, it's like a network of AI agents.
Yeah, okay.
Each one specialized in a particular area.
So like one agent for scheduling, one for managing finances, one for tracking fitness goals.
Exactly. And they can all communicate with each other, share data, and even learn from each other's experiences.
It's like having a team of super intelligent assistants constantly working behind the scenes to optimize your life.
That sounds amazing.
It does, but it also kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, it raises some ethical questions.
Like, how do we know that these agents are working in our best interests?
Right. How do we prevent them from being manipulated or misused?
And how do we make sure that they're not making decisions that could have unintended consequences?
These are all really important questions, and the Forbes article, it acknowledges these concerns.
Okay, so what do they say?
Well, they argue that as we develop these AI ecosystems, we need to be very intentional about building in safeguards and ethical guidelines.
So it's not just about the technical capabilities, it's about the ethical framework that guides their development.
Exactly. And that framework needs to involve not just technologists, but also ethicists, policymakers, and society as a whole.
So we need to have a conversation about this.
A big one.
Yeah.
We need to figure out how to balance the potential benefits of agentic AI with the potential risks.
Because let's face it, this technology, it's incredibly powerful.
And it's advancing rapidly.
So we need to make sure that we're using it wisely.
Right. And responsibly.
For the benefit of everyone.
Absolutely.
Well said. Now, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier, the potential impact of agentic AI on the workplace.
Yeah, the job market.
The Forbes article suggests that this technology could both create and destroy jobs.
It's a double-edged sword.
Exactly. So how do we navigate that transition in a way that's fair and equitable for everyone?
That's the million-dollar question, and there are no easy answers.
But the article does highlight a few key strategies.
Like what?
Well, one is to focus on developing skills that are complementary to AI.
So things that AI can't do.
Yeah, like creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence.
Those uniquely human skills.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? Those human skills that are going to be so valuable in this new age of AI.
Exactly. And alongside that, we need to invest in robust education and retraining programs.
So people can adapt to this new landscape.
Yeah. Equip them with the skills they need to thrive in a world where AI is a major player.
So it's not just about learning to code, it's about understanding how to work alongside AI.
Right. Learning how to delegate tasks effectively and leverage AI's strengths to enhance our own capabilities.
It sounds like a pretty big shift in thinking.
It is. It's going to require us to be adaptable and open to new ways of working.
But if we can pull it off, the potential rewards seem enormous.
They do. The Forbes article talks about a future where AI isn't just a tool, but a partner.
A partner helping us to solve problems, make better decisions, and create a more prosperous and fulfilling world.
That's the vision, at
It
least.
sounds pretty utopia.
It does, but like with any powerful technology, there are always potential downsides.
Right. The article also cautions that we need to proceed with caution and foresight.
We need to be mindful of the risks, the unintended consequences of giving AI systems more autonomy.
Like we were saying earlier, we need those ethical guidelines, those safeguards, those transparency measures.
It's like we're handing over the keys to a really powerful car.
And we need to make sure we have a really good driver behind the wheel.
Exactly. And the driver in this case isn't just the AI itself.
It's the humans who are designing, training, and deploying these systems.
We need to make sure that those humans have the knowledge, the skills, and the ethical compass to steer this technology in the right direction.
So it's not just a tech issue. It's a human issue.
It's about our values, our choices, and our responsibility to shape the future we want to create.
Well said. I think that's a perfect note to end on.
It's been a great discussion.
It really has. We've covered so much ground today, from the nuts and bolts of building an AI agent to the broader societal and ethical implications of this whole agentic AI thing.
And it's clear that this is just the beginning.
Yeah, we're just scratching the surface of what's possible with this technology.
The future of AI is being written right now, and we all have a role to play in shaping it.
So to our listeners out there, we'd love to hear your thoughts. What excites you about agentic AI? What concerns you? And most importantly, what role do you see yourself playing in this future?
Stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged. This is a journey we're all on together.
That's a wrap on our Agentic AI Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us.